You don't know any of
So he's what?
5.
That's it? 5 on that?
5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, no, I know that one.
Yes. For decades now, we have gone through the same routine of springing forward in the spring and falling back in the fall with our time change. Who started all this, you might ask yourself? Well, it was our government of the United States. Why would they have started this, you might also ask, is to help conserve energy during times of war and to help our farmers and agriculture. When tests were done over this, they found that energy is saved to a certain extent, but in reality, it's just about the same every year. Today I'm going to inform you about the history of daylight savings time, some of the tests that were conducted in Indiana, and what our nation can do to improve the energy conservation. First off, let's begin with the initial way to tell time. In the beginning, time was assumed by the position of the sun in the sky. The people would just look up, and when it was at the highest point, they would say it was noon, and then they would judge it from there. Great Britain was the first country to develop a standard time, and that was in 1848. This would help the railroads use it for transportation times and their cargo, and as well as their passengers to transport throughout the country. Standard time came to America in November of 1883. Before, people in our country would just go by their local time in the town square or just positions of the sun. The idea of daylight savings time was invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1784. He actually invented it for France because France was in an energy crisis and they were having economical issues. So they asked Benjamin Franklin, who was a genius at the time, to help them out with an idea. Daylight saving time officially shifts the time of dawn and dusk forward by an hour during the summer, which gives us a longer day in the evening. The first country to try this was Germany, and then it was soon followed by Austria in 1916. The U.S. tried this in 1918, and it was an act of preserving daylight, and it provided a standard time for the U.S. But it was later repealed that year because the agricultural business didn't actually like the extra daylight hours. They liked having the sun in the morning. It was brought back into the U.S. Territories during Roosevelt's time of the World War II in 1942 to 1945, and this was called wartime, and it was just a full year of daylight savings time, so they never fell back in the fall. It was used again by President Nixon, and it was signed as a law, the Emergency Daylight Savings Time Energy Conservation Act of 1973. And this was during an economic crisis time. Our country was under a lot of pressure for oil, and actually the energy conservation came from the use of oil in light vehicles, and they would just cut back on how much gas you could buy at gas stations. So in our reality, the energy that was used was mainly for vehicles or recreation use, not households, that they tested. Whenever they did test the electricity energy from the houses, there was only about a 1% conservation from the year before. Today, the U.S. government has daylight savings time in effect, but however, not all states or territories are required to do this. Indiana is just one of the states that struggles with this decision. In 2008, there was a test that provided evidence challenging that view, that springing forward may actually waste energy. In 2006, Indiana only had 15 of its 92 counties going through with daylight savings time. But after 2006, the state decided they needed to have everyone so they could be under one time zone and all in the same to help businesses and people be able to transport and do things, because it just caused mass confusion having one county at 6 and one county at 7. The University of California in Santa Barbara economics professor Matthew Cauchin decided to test this theory on daylight savings time. He used more than 7 million monthly bills and readings from the Duke Energy Corporation, and this would cover all of South Indiana. And it compared the energy consumption of the daylight savings time change in households. In the Wall Street Journal, the results were posted, and Dr. Cauchin found out that having the entire state switch to daylight savings time was actually costing households $8.6 million more in their electric bills annually. The reduced lighting in the afternoons that the government believes that we have is offset by the use of the air conditioning in the hot summer months in the evenings, as well as the heaters in the mornings during the winter months. Other tests were done on daylight savings time changes, but the scientists only watched directly after or right before the time change. They didn't follow it throughout the year. So of course, whenever the time change was in a week, they showed a difference. But throughout the years, it just actually stays the same. Some people argue to believe that the issue with daylight savings time is more about politics and popularity than sound policy. And for years now, our nation has struggled economically to conserve energy, which is our most expensive resource. And I believe daylight savings time is unnecessary because, contradicting in its name, it's not actually saving us anything. Texas in the South, here, especially in the summer months, we always run our air conditioners in the evening, especially this last summer, having the high temperatures and wanting to cool off and get relief from the heat. We were hit the hardest, probably energy-wise, and having daylight savings time longer in the evening would hurt us. In conclusion, the daylight savings time might have seemed like a good conservation act in the early 19th century, but it doesn't add up now in modern times. Overall, it just costs our nation more. The way to help bring our nation under control economically, resourcefully, and socially would be by eliminating daylight savings time.